Right. Doesn't really matter if we're in shot, but I like it anyway. Right. You know, the thing is, I was thinking actually. You know, I was playing Forbidden Siren earlier, and
very grey game. Isn't
yeah, it's a very grey game. Yeah, it's just foggy everywhere, and a lot of humidity in the air in that game. You know. But what I was thinking was, I mean, I like to, you know, in that game there's things called shibito, or well, it means corpse people in Japanese, so they're basically zombies. And but I like to call them corpse buddies, because I'm me.
Okay.
And when recently I was thinking like corpse buddies. You know, do you remember those live action Disney like puppy movies, buddies?
Remember? Of course I can remember.
Yeah, there's like, yeah,
No, I've watched one.
There's like space buddies and all that.
Snow buddies.
Snow buddies.
Just one offhand, you know.
I'm thinking maybe a Halloween one.
Okay.
Corpse buddies.
I've not done a Halloween.
Basically, right, I know how it's gonna start. I just don't know how it's gonna move on from there. I know basically like the buddies from the other films, like these little sort of golden retriever or golden lab puppies.
And their mouths are possessed by like a Lovecraftian being from up above. That's why they can just go they talk faster than they should. They you know.
I hear they jam needles into the roofs of their mouths.
Yeah.
I think that's what Disney does. But anyways, they basically what happens is a guy just stuffs all of them into a sack, drives past a river and chucks it in. And then, like, for the next 10 minutes, it's just us watching a bunch of puppies drown in a sack.
Yeah.
And eventually they all die. A few of them manage to claw their way to the top and get a bit of air, but really they're prolonging the inevitable. Eventually they just die. And then they float down the river and they end up inside a sort of a polluted area next to a nuclear power plant, and they all just kind of rip out of the bag as radioactive zombies. And then they rip a deer apart, and then it goes. Then the opening titles come up. Just fucking corpse buddies.
Then he goes. There's like a popular song sung by puppies, like a Halloween song. I don't know, like
spooky, scary skeletons.
It's just like that, but it's got like this horrible like moaning in the background. It's really it starts off kind of cute, but it just ends up unpleasant for all to hear it.
It starts off cute.
Yeah, the song.
The song itself. Not the movie. The movie.
Yeah, this is literally as the bag hits on water.
Yeah. It's okay, we don't really hear much, we just kind of hear gurgling and, you know, occasionally you'll hear a little squeak as they manage to get to the surface and, sorry, you know, just a little whimper, but for the most part it just, you know, it's just gurgling and they all just kind of go limp. But no, it's okay because they come back to life. And, you know, they rip the aforementioned deer apart, but, there you go.
Teamwork.
With teamwork, yeah, that's what the movie's about. It's all about teamwork, because zombies are all about teamwork.
Yeah, they are actually, yeah.
Yeah,
that works.
That is, you know, in fact, that should be a team building exercise actually. Just everyone, like from an office, like everyone just goes out on the street and like bites people to death in a group. You know. Yeah. So this is Chris and Glenn's Journey to Hell, with your wonderful host Glenn Smith. I, Glenn Smith.
Oh.
And your even more wonderful host, Christopher Baird.
Oh, hello.
On the scale of wonderfulness, he's clearly up above me. You know, which is why his name is top in the billing. So, yeah. So we could have had Nick here to join us, but he's too busy
being here.
Oh, being here. Yeah, actually, he is joining us today.
Before we do anything else, you do realise that. As Chris knows this, you don't actually have to drown puppies in to make a Snow Buddies movie about puppies dying, because during the filming of Snow Buddies, several puppies did have to were put down because they were they used underage puppies for the filming and they got like pneumonia and shit and had to be put down. I'm not kidding. I was waiting for you to introduce me so I could just say that.
I'm not
kidding.
I honestly didn't.
I'm not fucking kidding. I looked it up before. before watching the movie, because I was like, oh,
You actually watched the movie?
We watched
we
it.
watched that's our Christmas episode, our last
Yeah.
Christmas episode, because Chris
Oh,
couldn't
there's
find
a-
something better to
Oh,
watch.
there's a little teaser for you, everybody.
Yeah.
Chris couldn't find something better to watch, so I went, well, if you're not going to do the work, Chris, I'm going to step in as producer and make you watch Snow Buddies.
I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and I'm gonna make a decision.
Well, I did have to roll up my sleeves because I had to find it in the pile of crap, but yeah, so we did
Yeah.
watch Snow Buddies and it was shit.
Well, the pile of
It
crap.
also
man.
doesn't. It also doesn't realise that puppies shouldn't eat ice cream.
Yeah, the pile of crap certainly is doing its job, isn't it?
Mhm.
I mean, it does what it says on the tin, essentially. Well,
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, I finally joined this podcast because it was inevitable after letting that hack Darrow on.
yeah, that hack, Daryl.
Look at him talking for a bit while coming into the room for a bit.
Yeah, aye. He was only in for about 25 minutes.
Yeah, but
You know,
it was
as long as
25, but that was 23 minutes too much.
Oh God, God.
yeah. So,
Jesus.
I think that's enough barrel dashing for one episode.
battle dashing.
Barrel.
Battle dashing.
That's when you put a barrow on and you've got, you've taken the whole, and you just run. It's like a sprinting race, but you've got, one of these old whiskey kegs over you, and you're just running.
What? Brilliant.
Yes, you got your, it's it's just a barrow over you, so your arms are trapped in it, and you
I'm
just got
fairly
to
certain. I'm fairly certain that's what. I'm fairly certain that is like an old style like punishment. That like people used to like they used to stick you in a barrel and have you walk around town, and people would go. It's kind of like a more. It's kind of like an on the street equivalent of the dunce's cap. You know.
which is still practiced in breaking today because
In their abandoned school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually. To be honest,
I mean the actual barrel torture.
No.
They haven't
Yeah.
even got to it's just like defense lawyers. We don't have defense lawyers sit here, see? We're still practicing 17th century law here, see?
Still like sorcerers in town.
Yeah, they're still like
They're the gang lords of town.
It's like, did you steal Jamie's pencil case? No, sir. Right, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to send in the torturer.
No, they put them in the bloody stocks and you just chuck fruit at them. Because people in Brecon don't eat fruit.
No, we don't eat fruit.
You're a bit, it's like, that's a weird thing. I don't like these tomatoes, no.
Tomatoes, no.
Tomatoes, no, okay.
Oh,
Yes, anyway, yes, well. So and enough Brecon bashing for one episode as well.
There was no.
Very
You
good,
didn't realise it, but he did actually do a spoonerism right there. You know.
Did I?
Yeah, because Brecon bashing, you got the two B's mixed up.
What? Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we're currently in Nicholas Cook's abode,
Yes.
as it were, sitting on the famous couch.
Oh, the famous cow.
The famous couch of Nick and Chris Watch.
See, and to prove that we're in my room, Winston decides to cheat the minute we mentioned that.
Yeah,
Also, Winston's in this episode. Hello, Winston.
Winston's another guest star. Winston's another guest
Doesn't
star.
talk. He does. Chris, you crazy bastard. Things that don't have human voices, only humans can talk. Isn't that right, Alistair? Yeah.
Oh God, Alistair's here as well.
Nah, he's going off.
Okay then. I wish I could get you to do that most days. Just have him, just send him away.
No.
You know.
He's inspecting under the paving
We
slabs.
don't subcontract him to shows that aren't made by me.
He's got like contracts and everything.
He's got lots of paperwork.
Just a little,
It's a bit-
little business suit and a tie.
Problem is he can't actually write, so he's all scribbles. But no, I'm going to force a topic on this. We're going to talk about movies directed by the person who made Creepazoids.
This is
Okay.
David Duchovny. Then.
Yes, David Duchovny.
I've heard his name before.
I know.
What else would he have done?
I'll bring up how I know him, but later. but-
David Duchovny made a movie. He started off making movies like we saw a movie. We saw the trailer for Dreamiac today, which is about a succubus woman who kills people, and it looks really shit.
Dream Maniac or Dream... Yeah,
It's Dream Maniac for some reason. These titles are really awful. Like the we were talking about Trick or Treat. It's like Dream Maniac. You'd think would be made for a movie that was a rip off of 99 Elm Street, but this is all about a succubus. It's like, do they come up with the titles first, and then, or does the person who's like, I don't know why they come up.
Well,
with
the other one, that Trick or Treat one that you showed me, was
Yeah.
basically about like I don't know, was it like a ghostly rock star or something? that
It's a
kills people?
dead rock star who gets resurrected when someone plays the record backwards, and I think he comes back to life and kills people.
Okay, well, it's you know what? We should actually start doing that with with actual dead musicians. Like play some of Jimi Hendrix's tracks back. Well, I want to see Jimi Hendrix. You know, a mate of mine asked me this question once. Actually, he asked me, "What do you think Jimi Hendrix would be doing if he were alive today? Would he be A, continuing a tour around the world playing? Would he be B, teaching underprivileged children, not underage? I don't know what the fuck I was thinking there. Underprivileged children how to play guitar, or C or 3, because I can't remember which counting I was using. C or 3, scratching wildly at the lid of his coffin."
God damn it.
Yeah.
I will give you that. Buffy were the only ones that did resurrecting someone in the grave properly, because they go like, let's resurrect Buffy from the grave, and then they fail to realise that she'd have to dig herself out, so she does, and she's quite pissed off, and she's like, it's like, oh,
of course.
Yeah.
It's like, of course she'd have to dig her way out.
No, she's
coffin.
that's probably the only
in
good.
the room.
That was probably
Yeah.
the only good thing about the whole season 6 of Buffy. I thought that was a shitty season of Buffy. Anyway, so yeah, David, he made a movie called Creepazoids that I've done a review of for Fast Forward, and the thing about it is, it reminds me a lot of Rat's Night of Terror.
Okay.
Oh god.
which should be a good thing.
It
I love
is.
Rat's Night of Terror.
Creepazoids is an odd movie when the fact that it's a short movie that doesn't really have enough plot to do its whole film.
How long is it?
I think it's 68 minutes or something.
68 minutes, and it doesn't have enough plot to fill 68 minutes.
No, not really.
And when was this made?
Oh, 80s. It's
Okay.
86 or 7.
I like some of the lines in that Dream Maniac trailer.
Yeah.
Because there was that one with that posh girl. She's like, I've been to private schools all my life, so I'm rich as shit.
What?
And
Yeah.
that's what she says. And then there was another.
It's like, do I know you? It's like, no, I've been to private schools because I'm rich as shit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, what was it? There was another one. There was another line I can't remember, but See, he also directed that. We haven't seen that one yet. Then he's also directed a lot of other stuff. Like he did a lot of stuff for Charles Band. Oh,
He's
really?
A lot of stuff. He's done a couple of the Puppet Master movies and stuff. But recently I know him for making a movie called The Brotherhood, which I have under the title I've Been Watching You.
Oh yeah, the
gay vampire movie.
gay vampire movie. Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because Wikipedia calls the series of movies that it spawned a series of homoerotic horror movies. And homoerotic is the word. I can't get any reading off IMDb and everything, and if he isn't gay, then he's obviously making movies that are catering towards a gay demographic, but his movies have a lot of gay things in them. He's made a movie, what was it? It was like the leather jacket one. What was the title?
I don't know.
What was the title for the one called like... Where is
Well,
it?
this has been wonderful so far. We've gotten on to gay vampire movies.
Leather Jacket
after
Love...
me killing puppies.
Leather Jacket Love Story.
Leather Jacket Love Story.
It's all about like a man meeting this older man, and it's got Mink Stole in it for some reason. This is all from Wikipedia, by the way. But no, he's made a lot of movies. A lot of movies.
You know what? If you're constantly doing stuff like that, you're liable to come across
a lot of them are just
a lot of hits and a lot of misses.
like Beach Babes 2, Cave Girl Island. You've Beach Babes from Beyond. A lot of these are bloody Charles Band movies. He made a lot of like Beach Girls. Isn't it like Beach Girls from Infinity? Slave Girls from Infinity is a Charles Band movie.
From Infinity.
Yeah. I actually have a copy of that somewhere. because it looks daft. But no, Charles Band. So I think he worked a lot for Charles Band, but he also obviously realised he could do his own movies. So he sidelined into making movies on his own for ridiculously cheap budgets, and I think Brotherhood was one of them. Because I kid you not, I think the frat house that the cult is in is some guy's house, because it's got like a chain lock and everything. That's such an...
Apparently, like a lot of his films are filmed at his house.
Yeah, I think it was probably filmed at his house because
I know the guy through Trails from Hell. He does a few of them.
Oh really?
I haven't really watched a lot of them. Yeah, you just kind of see he's like, I think Django 2 is a gay film. Or just like, what? It's like,
Was that an actual one that he did, or you just...
Yeah. So there's some. No, I don't know if it was Django 2, but it was some like Django shooter or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Django movies.
It might be a gay film. I don't know, but it just seemed kind of like, oh yeah, I do it because it's gay. It's my thing.
Yeah, so you think he just says like he'll just like apply a gay subtext to it, kind of like what I was doing.
Hardware, totally gay.
Yeah, kind of like what I was what I was doing
Masters of the Universe. Yes.
with Masters of the Universe last night. Yeah, or just kind of. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, it's been a very sort of prominent joke throughout the years that He-Man is gay and whatever. And yes, there are parts in that film where it's like, you know, for the pink Cadillac and all that.
I've always thought there was kind of a gay tone, a little bit of a gay romance going on between Herbert West and the male character from the first Reanimator.
Okay.
Because he seems to have a thing for him. He wants him, and he wants him to help out and everything. I do think it's slightly a...
Alright, so the subject of today's Chris and Glenn's Journey to Hell podcast is homoerotic subtext in films.
But no, anyway, so we're talking about his career. So he's made a lot of shit. It turns out he's made a lot of sequels to Brotherhood. One of them being the sequel that was pretended, the one that in Britain pretended to be a sequel, called I've Been Watching You Too. Prom Night, which is another movie called Pep Squad or something, which is an awful movie as well, but my god, that lead woman who's basically the bitch from hell was rather attractive.
Oh yes,
that was a weird movie. So she's basically a psychopath that murders people for no reason.
No reason.
I don't know. Well, psychopaths, psychopathic killers.
Have I discussed this movie? I must have discussed part of the I've Been Watching You Too, because I will discuss this for a second, just to, like, for example, it's trying to be a fucking awful art movie, because there's one point where there's a woman they do like this party scene, and there's a woman in like one of these inflatable pools, and it's full of marshmallows, and she's just dancing topless, and there's just a bunch of hunky men bounding into the water and eating marshmallows out the water. That's part of a scene. They then decide when they kill the principal, it goes all artsy, and guess what song they play? Have a guess. You're not gonna get No. God save our gracious Queen. They play God Save the Queen. They also then play the Purple Mountain's Majesty or whatever when they're burying the corpse while they're intercutting it to a love-making scene. The movie's utter shit, but it's like...
Yeah, it's like an oddity.
It's an oddity that someone should...
A bit like yourself, Nick.
Maybe you should do a review of it under your title. You just go, you know?
Yeah. I've still got to do Zombie Dead.
I know.
I've got idea. I'm going to do.
You still have one of my copies of Zombie Dead.
I've still got it. Yeah, I know what it is. Don't worry. I am going to have to do.
It needs to go back with my 4 copies of Stage Fright.
Zombie Dead was terrible, but it was kind of funny.
Well, mostly because it's a zombie mask was so shit. But no, back to this. He made a lot of really cheap movies by himself. He also used to use a lot of female pseudonyms and stuff.
Pseudonyms.
And he used a lot of them to make terrible talking animal movies. He made a talking cat.
A talking cat.
He made like a talking horse, and he's made like
a talking pony.
Was it? Oh, yeah, talking pony. He did a Christmas. Was it a bunny? An Easter bunny puppy. was one of them. He made a movie called Santa's Summer House,
What?
which just
Okay, I mean, you showed me the
Brings
trailer
up so
to...
many questions.
You,
but
you
they-
showed me the trailer to, a talking pony. I like that one because it seems to basically, it looks like, all right, the bank's foreclosing on this person's farm, and I'm supposed to care. And then
well, that
this
looks like
lassie,
that looks like it has a. They've actually shot someone that wasn't his own house.
this lassie is talking to a pony that she has at the farm, going like, "Oh, I wonder what we're gonna do," and then she gets hit in the head with a horseshoe. That's just
It's a
above her for some
magical
reason.
horseshoe.
Oh, is it a magical horseshoe?
Apparently, that's how you get to contact.
I thought
the
they were
horse.
just. I thought
No. It
they were
says
just
something about
smacking
magic.
people
No,
on the
he
head.
says something about like, "Don't steal my magical horseshoe," and I think that's how those two stealing. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I'm slightly
she
fascinated
gets
by going to
hit. She
watch
gets
it.
hit in the head by this horseshoe, and then like somehow she's able to talk to the pony, and then like later on in the trailer, it becomes apparent that they're doing the same thing to other people so that they can talk to the
Yeah.
pony. And I was just thinking, they're just like smacking people over the head with this horseshoe.
Yeah, well, I don't know who the horse is voiced by, but I know Chris knows who the talking cat was voiced by.
Yes, Eric Roberts.
Who apparently recorded all his dialogue over the phone in like half an hour.
Nice.
I'm not kidding, it was about half an hour over the phone.
Literally phoning it in.
Yeah. God, no, there is an IMDb review for a talking cat, I think, or something. Where is it? What one is it that I found? a
Oh
review for?
God. This is a right step up from talking about Chappie and whatever from earlier. Eh?
Oh wait, no, it's... What one's this for? Oh, it's Easter Bunny Puppy. Here we go. Here's the directing sucks, the director sucks, the editing sucks, the continuity is horrible, the acting is mediocre but blends in with the poor quality of the films. It doesn't stand out as much. I also blame the director for the acting. I know it's supposed to be a goofy kids movie, but kids would be bored with this. It's not a fun movie by any means, and the dog is barely in it, and it's hardly about the dog.
The director sucks and everything.
Well, that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
that's like his conclusion. He goes in a huge, massive rant about
Love
it.
that.
But no, so yeah, but when I have kids, I'm not gonna. Actually, I do have a kid at the moment. But Alistair, do you want to watch a talking cat? No, I am a talking cat. Yeah, we do have a talking cat here.
what am I?
Do do do. Hello, everybody. Do do do. Let's go and eat a priest.
Well, finally,
Okay,
it's
but
on the airwaves.
Right now, there are people like there may be some people who are listening to the podcast and have only ever listened to these podcasts and not seen anything else that we've been in, whether it be his videos or my videos, and they're thinking, like, why did they let the mental patient in on the podcast?
Because you filmed it in my house.
Yeah.
You don't want me in your podcast.
Yeah,
don't
next
film
house-
it in my house.
Nick's house has a very medical look about it, by the way. He's got a hospital cot. He's currently wearing like a turquoise gown.
And and this
There's a
hospital
gurney in
rooms,
the room.
hospital is full of like Akira posters and German StarCraft posters
Bizarrely.
and Czechoslovakian Profondo Rosso posters.
Yeah. There's a man standing at the door wearing a white, wearing a white outfit,
no.
folding his arms, like watching him.
No, I'm in the same mental institution.
How are you doing, Derek?
I'm in the same mental institution for Children of the Corn 666, where they let their mental patients loose with a hammer. You don't even. Why did that mental institution
We still
person
haven't.
have
Yeah,
a hammer?
that's just occurred to me. We still haven't.
I know,
reviewed
we'll
that.
have to, I know, but why
Hang on,
the
we-
fuck did he have a hammer? It's like, hey, you know, call me criminally insane, but I don't think mental institution people should be allowed to let loose through your aging cod ribbon food
I'm thinking maybe-
hospital and have access to hammers.
I'm thinking maybe the film was set was set when Reagan defunded the mental health organizations. You know, most of the because there wasn't many of them there. I have a feeling most of them were just wandering the street.
Anyway, leave that. We're going to talk about that.
Well, no, maybe it's the spoiler for Silent Night, Bloody Night, where the inhabitants of the town are ex-mental patients. I've just spoiled the end of the Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Oh
for you.
no, woe is me.
It's actually a very good movie. If you could get a print that actually had the night shots didn't look like fucking shit and you couldn't see what's going on. Like David Carradine in it plays this person who can't speak. She just makes noises like.
I'm gonna have a
He
snack.
actually goes bing. He's got a bell. He communicates through bell rays. He's like bing.
I'm gonna have a snack while Chris talks
Bing.
about something.
What can I talk about?
What can you talk about,
What can
Chris?
I talk about? Bang!
No, you were. There was gonna. We had the title for this podcast yesterday, and it was something to do with you'd come up with this idea.
No. I know what it was. Don't worry about
I
it.
know what it is, dude.
Sorry. Yeah.
Alright, so maybe you talk about that later. But yeah. So, do you have anything to talk about?
I don't know if I have anything to talk about, really. I haven't really done a lot. God, what have I done? What have I done? Jesus.
You've shot
watching-
branches into the back of a van.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not news. I've been watching Breaking Bad. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And that's kind of connected to X-Files, so Nick can tangent off from that and steal conversation from me.
No, I know. I was going to let you talk about Breaking Dad first.
Breaking Dad.
Jesus, that's
That's what Alistair does to me on a regular occurrence with his shenanigans.
Bring me back that pineapple. No. But
What do you mean you've mined the beaches?
that's where you lose. That's where you lost it. That's where you're in the mental institution. Get back that pineapple, you prick! And then here you are. Yeah, Breaking Bad. It's been obviously got a lot of hype behind it. You might have heard of it. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've
I
heard
don't
of
think
Breaking.
so.
I think
What?
I've heard.
Glad
I've
what?
Heard, I think I've heard little bits about it. Yeah. It's the one about the people fighting, like in the medieval times, fighting dragons and stuff, and it's got Peter Dinklage in
Actually, it's got more to do with like people underground fighting each other forever and ever. But no, it's actually about drugs. It's actually about a guy called Walter White, played by the dad from Malcolm in the Middle, who is making drugs because he's got lung cancer, and he says fuck it. He probably is just like fuck it. I have nothing left to lose. So
I wonder, isn't it also for the fact that he wants to give a lot of money? He wants to give enough money for his family to.
Exactly.
So when he. But
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
later on in the series he starts to hate his own fucking family?
I'm guessing that's where it's going. I've only just watched the first series.
Yeah. Well, I know he becomes a complete psychopath. At the end of it,
I imagine that's the whole thing. Yeah. I'm enjoying it so far. It's quite a slow series, slow character-driven series. It's quite good.
I like that. It's got a lot of like very dark humor in it, and I love that.
Yeah. A lot of character-driven stuff. Sometimes just scenes where they just kind of talk for a bit. It's like that one where he's kidnapped the guy and tied him up in his basement. He's just talking about like how he knew his father beforehand. It's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. And then eventually you just think like, no, this is not going to work. Someone's going to end up killing one another, and then he kills him.
Yeah, it is like really, and you know it's really bad because he's like, you know, while he's doing it, he's like, I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it is honestly one of the best written things I've seen.
Yeah.
And I've only seen like the first season and the first 2 episodes of season 2.
I haven't seen any of it yet. I'm slowly going through certain other TV shows. It's X-Files and then it's going to be Angel.
Angel.
Yeah.
What was I going to say though? But yeah, I'm not really much of a TV guy, honestly. I've never really got. Well, I used to be a TV guy because I watched shows as a kid, obviously. But I've got the occasional shows I like, but I tend to like short shows. I don't know, like British sitcoms and stuff. They short.
like half an hour.
Yeah, they're just.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just don't have like a lot of episodes, and they just have like a certain amount. And stuff. And it just kind of vary from what genre to genre. But this one, I just thought I'll give one of them a go at least, and it's only like 6 series, I think, and it's got a spin-off.
Yeah. Oh yes, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I've seen
that's
on
Netflix. I'm wanting to see. I'm wanting to get through. I'm wanting to watch Breaking Bad because I really want to watch the rest of Breaking Bad because it's really good.
Yeah.
And now I really want to watch Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see the character.
Because I loved Vince Gilligan's episodes of the X-Files. I thought his episodes were some of the best, and I mean he wrote one of my favourite episodes from season 5 called Bad Blood, which is all about like Mulder and Scully's
I can
different
proceed as going to
perspectives.
turn to an X-Files conversation. I just want to say one last thing regarding Breaking Bad.
Oh, is that the one about the vampires in the trailer park?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah,
That's a great one.
Sure. Anyway, I know. I just want to make a little silly joke because what's called the guy who plays like the DAA guy. Is that DA?
DEA.
Yeah, the guy.
DEA,
His brother-in-law character.
Yeah.
I just want to make a joke about how I know him from the Tremors TV show. He's not very good at that, but
See, I
knew him before he was cool.
I know.
I knew
I
him
saw.
before he was in something that was good.
Well, no, he was in an episode of the X
Oh,
Files.
for God's sake!
No,
He's
honestly,
in the lawnmower man.
He was also no, and unfortunately he was also in Under the Dome
Yes,
recently.
Dean Norris.
What episode of X-Files was he in?
Do you remember the episode in season 2 where it was that pharmaceutical company deliberately spreads a deadly like pustule sort of disease in a prison?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that guy.
Oh okay.
Yeah, Stocky, the bald dude. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that episode.
Yeah,
That's a really good one.
yeah.
Yeah, Tremors the series isn't very good, but
Speaking of the X-Files, I've started going through season 6 of the X-Files, and ironically, the second episode does have Bryan Cranston in it, and he's been it's all about this accidental misfiring of a naval weapon that's caused this weird radio signal to cause people to go basically mental and their heads explode basically.
Well,
And
yeah,
Bryan
they have to.
it's there's something to do with their ears and stuff, and Bryan Cranston's basically the beginning of the episode is him in a high speed chase, and he's all like, and he has to move at a certain speed, and he also has to go west because that somehow alleviates the pressure of his
Yeah. It's actually written by Vince Gilligan as well, and a lot of people actually kind of trace back the Walter White character to
yeah.
So
Except for the character he's playing in the X-Files episode's anti-Semitic. Because he claims that Mulder's a Jew, and he's like, "Oh, I know the Jew FBI and stuff," and it's like, apologise for, and then he later apologised to Mulder for calling him a Jew. But
you see, it's been a long time since I've seen that episode, but I remember it being really good.
and the next episode isn't. The next episode is
Oh yeah.
ghost Nazi shit.
So you've got a fairly
it's all
smart
about
piece
this-
of conspiracy sci-fi thriller drama written by Vince Gilligan, and the next Ghost Nazis.
It's all about Mulder. It's all about the Bermuda Triangle and how Mulder spots what is the Princess Anne. That was a ship that was apparently blown up. It's been blown up by Nazi torpedoes. But it turns out that no, it's actually just went into the Bermuda Triangle. Mulder gets on board, and it's sort of like, there are Nazis everywhere. And like, the smoking man's a Nazi.
They're everywhere!
Oh God, what?
The smoking man's a Nazi. The smoking man's brother, son, turns out to be a Nazi. Skinner's a Nazi, and also Scullyson is playing like the protector of the scientists.
You know, we still actually haven't gone through all of X-Files Resistor Serve.
We're gonna have to start that again,
and that
remember, because we lost footage.
Oh really?
Yeah,
for
I
fuck's
told
sake.
you this.
Was that horrible old point and click thing or?
No,
You still, the Glenn still hasn't edited that together.
No, I still haven't done that.
He also still hasn't edited It Calls Survival.
Oh god, I still haven't done butt crack.
Survival.
Yeah, I just remember like Nick saying like, "Oh, I just felt my life ebbing away." That's
Yeah.
all I remember.
But no,
and
the
face appearing on screen going,
No, Resistor
"Yeah."
Resistor Serve was
That's what they say.
was
yeah,
more of a Resident Evil clone.
Yeah,
and,
I remember that.
There's a bit in it later on what we haven't gotten to yet where Mulder goes into A.D. Walter Skinner's office, and for some reason A.D. Walter Skinner is a Nazi, and then you have to fight him along with his hunchbacked secretary who runs in with an AK-47 and starts trying to murder you. And apparently this is a story written by writers of the X-Files.
It's probably some of the ones that wrote this Nazi shit one. So basically what happens is Mulder needs to... Actually, the film, it doesn't really have an ending. Because Mulder's like, you've got to turn the ship around so the Nazis never escape. He then jumps off the ship and Scully finds him. But meanwhile, Scully and the three gunmen,
The lone gunman.
the lone gunmen are on the ship and they're like, but it's abandoned. It's like sort of like, you know, it's like Mulder's in the past, but Scully's in the present doing the stuff, and there's like a fake Scully there, like what, you know, it's like, you know, a bit, and then the ending is Wizard of Oz, where he's in the bed and it's like, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there, and then Skinner's there, and he goes like, and he was like, and you were a Nazi. It's like, oh god, but he was a nice Nazi. You let him free, but the smoking, it's like, what is this? This is like a really shitty fan fiction.
Do you remember the one in the third season where people were getting attacked by cats? No?
No, I
Do you
don't
remember the one,
that.
Tessa dos Bichos? It's the one where those people get the like some kind of weird artifact, and then like there's a sort of a panther spirit that's like
I like
killing
that.
them.
That one was shit, but it was
Yeah, it's quite well known because apparently the production on that episode was a nightmare for everyone involved, because apart from anything else, Gillian Anderson, I think, was allergic to cats. So people actually walked around like on set with later episodes on set with T-shirts saying "I survived Tessa dos Bichos." Yeah, and oh god. I used to watch I used to watch the featurettes on the DVDs all the time when I was younger.
I was going to say, no, and the problem with season 6 is I haven't seen the movie, and the whole.
I told you.
I know. I
bloody told you.
I don't own the movie.
Well, get it. You can get fucking Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter and fucking this and that. You can't get the X-Files movie.
No, anyway, so no.
It's the 90s one, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the new one with Billy Connolly as the paedophile priest.
Because it's suddenly from season 5 of Mulder's like, I don't believe in aliens anymore, to season 6, like, I believe in aliens again. and the psychic kid's back again. Fucking psychic kid.
Oh god, you haven't gotten to the point where we find out what actually happens to Mulder's sister.
No, I haven't got to any.
I won't tell you, but it's fucking stupid.
It's getting stupid. Season 5 was kind of getting stupid with the whole episode about the woman that can control trees to attack them.
That was that was a terrible episode.
No, it wouldn't have been that terrible if she actually was attacking people who'd abused their children. But it's like, it turns out that these parents didn't even abuse their kids. Like, well, what was the point of the fucking episode then?
You know, the whole point was lady controls trees.
Yeah, but it's like,
there's a creepy man with an axe.
She got it because of her power, because of her dad abused her or something.
Yeah, there was no
but
explanation.
She's not. It's like, oh, maybe she was like, I'm going to help people who are getting abused by their fathers and stuff and don't have any power. But it's like, you just attacked people who didn't get abused when they're fucking. It's like, that was shit.
That was shit.
Shit.
It was shit. Shit, I tell you.
I'll just end it with buck teeth. Because Glenn will get that reference.
I'm just trying to make up my own X-Files episode.
Remember, it was the vampire episode,
yes,
and then Mulder makes out that the police chief, police cop guy had buck teeth.
Oh yeah, the buck teeth.
Because Scully's like making him out like they're trying to make out that Scully may have had a.
Like she had a crush on him.
Yeah.
Like
it's also getting really fucking obvious that Mulder and Scully are having sex in between episodes.
Well, there's always been like a thing.
Yeah,
like
but
that,
not
like a tinge
really.
of it.
Yeah, but this is getting like really obvious.
Yeah. I think they were running out of things to do with them, so they just kind of went, all right, let's just have them fuck. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, I don't know when we were talking about the like shitty X-Files episode there, I was reminded of some like a shitty TV show that I watched recently, and that I've spoken to you about before, Chris.
What's it called again?
It's called Helix.
Helix, that's right.
Yeah, and you know what? It didn't start off bad. Basically, the premise of you see, this is what's happening. Like, you've got to talk about Breaking Bad. He's talking about the X-Files, and I'm talking about
Prophet.
Helix. You know, we'll just sort of keep going. We'll just go in a fucking circle.
The TV Prophet.
Yeah, the TV.
I just want to make up my shit X-Files episode. Basically, in the X-Files episode, it's like Confederate ghosts come back to wherever Mulder lives. Mulder goes, "Oh no, Confederates!" I've never watched an X-Files episode in my life. But
sorry, the sun was beating down on me.
Confederates come up to like all the black people's windows and go, "Look who's black!" But then they run off to the swamp chased by black people, and then out of the swamp, pufferfish people, and they eat them, and that's it.
There you go.
Does that suit X-Files or not?
Well, I
No,
don't know.
some of the later episodes don't see it.
I don't know. I would say that's more in line with like the second season of Baywatch Nights.
Well, you see, here's the thing: Mulder and Scully had nothing to fucking do with it all. They just get eaten
Yeah,
by pufferfish.
there was
Say, "Who's so prejudiced now?" They go,
We ate the prejudiced.
There's the one where there's actually the one where I think Mulder goes to see like the guy that used to oversee the X-Files before he did, and the guy tells a story about this black baseball player from like long ago, who turns out to be an alien, and it's kind of mental because like the alien bounty hunter shows up as like a member of the Ku Klux Klan. And I don't know. I don't even remember it being a bad episode. That's the weird
It's
thing.
just getting mental. It's like you've run out of ideas, people. And the problem with Chris Carter a lot of the time I've realised is he's not very. He's really good at. It's a bit like Modern Who with when you make your two-party season finales where you're building up to something. It's like, oh, it's going to be really cool, and then it just turns out to be like the explanation wasn't really good.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
last one, though.
Which is just like. Because here's the thing, if they ever were to resurrect X-Files, they would, I don't know how they would get around all the thing of how the alien invasion didn't happen. You know, they'd have to spend a couple of episodes
yeah,
just
there
going, here, this is what happened, let's get on with it
Yeah,
and just do weird shit again. Look,
thing
Mulder
is,
fights Nazis that are actually scorpions.
I was-
Bam! Nazi scorpions. Bam!
I was never a big fan.
And they've got the voices of children. Bam! Episode.
I was never a big fan of the alien invasion storyline. I always
No,
liked
I loved the more weird, creepy one-off episodes.
I like the Monsters of the Week episodes.
Yeah,
but,
the serial killer of the week episodes. Like the one about the guy who he didn't kill anyone because he could just by suggestion tell you to.
Oh, Pusher. That's another
Pusher.
Vince Gilligan one, actually.
Well, to be fair, it's just a fucking rip-off of the last Prado book because that is. I'm not going to spoil it, but
What?
that's. For people who like Prado and don't want to hear the spoiler to this, skip to a bit where that Glenn would tell you. Right, the whole point of that serial is that it's a murderer. Hercule Poirot is fighting the guy who kills people in the last book of Hercule Poirot is a guy who just by suggestion can kill people.
Like hypnosis.
No, he just yeah.
No, he's like.
So the end of the book is Hercule Poirot killing the guy, and then dying. He's been in a wheelchair all this time. He's faking it, and Hercule Poirot, realizing he can't defeat the guy by sluicing, kills him. That is the last Hercule Poirot book.
Holy shit.
It's really dark. Hastings finds out and hides the truth because it's like you're my friend and you're dying. You know, and Poirot realizes that he's dying anyway, so he'd rather, because this guy was evil. It's a weird ending to the whole Poirot books.
Okay.
So yes, hopefully you didn't didn't spoil anything for you.
Yeah, whatever.
You can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, Nick's dancing. But,
So you were talking about the Appreciate Show.
no, I'm sorry. I was no. It's because you were talking about It's because you were talking about Chris Carter and like if they were to bring back the X-Files. I actually saw something that Chris Carter did several months ago. It was basically the pilot episode of this show that he was going to be doing, and it was I think it was on like Amazon Prime or something like that, and I watched it. And it's called the After, and it's another fucking post-apocalyptic show because we don't have enough of those. And oh my god, it is one of the shittest things I've ever watched in my entire life. Like I mean, you'd have to see it for yourself. But I remember like you know how there's usually like one of the most stalked characters ever is like in these apocalyptic shows is a guy who's like a prisoner, but he's an innocent man. You know.
Well, no, at least in the sequel, the second version of Survivors, the remake, the only thing I thought was interesting was the fact that one of the characters in it is a prisoner who's escaped and is a murderer, and no one knows, and he's like, oh no, I wasn't a murderer, but it's like, this guy anytime could like go, I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stab you. Well, let's hope he says it.
Not your man.
Let's hope he says it very loudly and about 5 minutes before he actually does it.
No, I wish he'd I just wish he'd
no, you're not.
I just wish he'd killed the female lead, because she's just like going, Peter! Peter!
Oh God.
Oh, Peter!
Peter!
Where's Peter? Peter!
I just imagine it was a giant canary. I don't know.
I watched the first episode of the Survivors remake, and it was really.
That's what I'm talking about. The Survivors remake. The only good thing was the prisoner guy.
Oh right, yeah, you were talking about the remake. I saw the first episode of that. I thought it was shit.
I think I saw. I can't remember how many episodes I saw of it. I think I saw one.
Where the guy is playing
I think I only
football
saw
with
one.
a kid in the middle of the fucking motorway
Yeah.
and happy music's playing. I remember reading. I read something. I think the guy who developed that version of the show talked about how they were trying not to make it as depressing.
What's going on with your camera then?
Nothing. It's still recording.
Yeah, but it's got a box next to it telling you how much recording time you should have left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just come up now. I was just wondering
I
if
was just
sometimes
looking
it warnings.
Yeah. Hold on.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I remember the guy saying like they weren't going to make it as depressing, and it's like it's a show about most of the human race being wiped out by a virus. You fucking.
I know. The original series was just so much better. The whole.
Doesn't mean you can't have scenes for cuddling puppies, Glenn.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they show,
all the puppies can be cuddled.
The original show, just how cool it was, is its opening title sequence isn't just an opening title sequence. It's how it shows you how the virus was spread everywhere. It was such a.
I think the first season of that show is great. I think the second season is a bit in places, and the third season I've not even gotten through that.
Oh, I love the
I
first
really like.
season's
I really like the double episode where they go to London though.
Yeah.
It has Roger Lloyd Packer.
I really like the Brian Blessed one because it's just.
Yeah, that's
creepy.
a good one. Yeah, the Brian Bless is actually terrifying in that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
episode.
After doing Flash Gordon, he was more known for shouting and stuff. But before that, he was more of a serious actor.
He was a big TV actor.
He'd done Z Cars. He'd then just done a lot of theatre. And
I remember him being in that episode of Tales of the Unexpected. You know, the Lamp of the Slaughter one.
Doctor Who.
that was after Flash Gordon.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was after Flash Gordon. That's the thing. Although to be fair, he was in one of the Blake 7 episodes where he did a lot of screaming. So maybe, but not to the degree afterwards where after a lot of the time he was just,
Yeah.
But definitely that Blake. That Survivors episode is really creepy.
Yeah, that one was quite scary.
Because he's already underplayed, but any time he could just be like, "I'll kill you." Sort of
like
thing.
he was going to throw them like a bunch of wild dogs.
Yeah.
And it was, but I liked it. There was a few like pretty shite episodes, but I liked what it was doing and like how it was done and everything. Whereas the remake was just
yeah.
you just don't. Anyway,
that's why I'm not looking forward to the Blake 7 remake whenever it comes.
But yeah, the after, like if you can find it, like. And you can put up with shitty stuff, then go ahead and watch it because of that. God, that was wretched. It really was. It was like you had like the moaniest characters on the planet Earth, and then you had this sort of cliched like prisoner guy, who actually says, like holding a shotgun, pointing at a bunch of people, actually says, "I'm an innocent man wrongly accused."
And he's black, isn't he?
Yeah, he's black. Because all prisoners are black in America.
Yeah. Well, no, a lot of the wrongly accused ones are black.
Well, actually, I'm thinking maybe that there might be the black population in American prisons might be going down because these days the police are shooting them more than they're actually arresting them. So yeah, solving one problem, causing another, really. But yeah. So, but politics, everybody. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris, do you have anything you want to talk about? Something else?
I don't know.
Oh no, I was going to speak about fucking Helix, wasn't I?
Yeah.
There was that stupid thing that I kept, like, I called you up on the phone. I was like, why the fuck is that? Yeah. What it is, see, it started off okay. It was like, it's basically you've got like this massive laboratory in like the Antarctic or something like that. Like this massive, like really high tech lab where like scientists are living and also working, and they basically this weird virus gets let out, and as it's basically like these people, these CDC people get sent in to investigate it. And of course, the guy who runs the place seems a bit, like he's hiding something. And of course, there's loads of people that are hiding something and whatever. And it started off okay. Like it had a kind of a Cronenberg type atmosphere at times, and it wasn't bad when it was just sort of sticking with the whole stop. We're going to try and stop the spread of the virus thing. Then it just kind of started to drag, because it's like the first season is like 13 episodes, which this is something that happens with a lot of American.
Did you watch
TV
all the
shows.
episodes?
I watched all of them, yeah. But
what? Don't you have more time on your hands?
No. I
You should have more things to do with your life than you could watch. I don't know, watch the end of Survivors and then go, I want to watch Buffy.
I could, yeah, but
I
started, and it was okay.
Buffy.
And then it starts to get really dull in the middle of it, because they end up just kind of like a bunch of people just end up wandering around the lower levels of the lab, just doing sod all, and then the nature of this virus becomes really like convoluted. Like, there's people that get the virus, and they and they only suffer the sort of main effects of it, like they're just they become pale and fucking their veins are like black and and they're just generally like in pain and whatever. And then you've got the vectors, who are the zombies. Those are the people that get infected, but they become zombies with like black eyes, and they catch you and vomit this black stuff in your mouth and spread the disease that way. So it becomes.
I was about to make a Waters of Mars reference.
Well, it's not. It's actually nowhere near as ridiculous as that. But Waters of Mars could have been good if it weren't that fucking. But yeah,
the first episode of that season finale was there's only modern Who episode I fell asleep. The one with the bus in the desert. And it was like,
oh god.
Oh yeah, I think I vaguely.
I barely pay attention.
I fell asleep. I've never actually seen that episode all the way around because I just fell asleep.
I might have. I don't know. Oh, it was awful.
It was before me and Chris did Doctor Who watch.
But yeah, so the nature of this virus gets very convoluted very quickly, and the thing that really gets me about it, apart from the fact that it turns out that this company called Ilaria, I think, who are the ones that actually hired these people in this lab to make this virus.
Yeah.
Because corporation, and it turns out that they're all immortal.
What?
I'm not kidding. There's apparently they're called the 500, like 500 immortal people.
And don't tell me they run the whole world.
They're they're one of those groups of people that sort of sits in the background and rules the world and
go like this.
And they do they have their hands clasped together, just like yes, good. And
it is as planned.
And one of the villains later on is this assassin called the Psy, and the reason he's called the Psy is because he uses like these small they're scythes. They're like tiny little scythes in his hands, like hooks, and or sickles, if you will.
Oh, I thought you were just saying she's like the mother Suspiriorum, which is the mother of Psys. It's basically
no, but he's called the Psy, and it turns out he's actually an immortal who's like obviously about fucking 14 or something, but he's remained 14 over. But the thing is, he still acts like a kid, because it turns out, oh no, the leader of the guy who runs the laboratory killed his mother, and now he has to go through this whole set of episodes trying to get revenge for his mommy. And it's just like every time you see him, you're just like,
So was his
shut
mother
up.
an immortal as well? Then?
Yeah, because she was a villain earlier in the show.
So immortals can get killed.
Yeah, well, if you cut off their head.
Oh,
So it's like a
Oh.
Highlander. You know, they're all Highlanders basically.
Oh.
I have a feeling that the guy who killed her was an immortal. He was the guy that runs the lab. So I guess
Okay.
he
Only
got the
immortals.
quickening off screen.
Only
But,
immortals. Is it only immortals can kill immortals?
I don't know.
You never watched enough.
The
of it.
thing that really confused me about it was just this one little thing about it,
Mhm.
right? Basically, you have this guy who's like I think he's like he's a military dude that goes along with the CDC guys.
Mhm.
But it turns out he's working for Ilaria. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, as if you cared. It turns out he's working for Ilaria, and he kills one of them and destroys some evidence or something. And one of the bits of evidence is actually a group of frozen monkeys. I'm not kidding. There's actually it's actually kind of a cool image, like these monkeys that got infected by the virus.
Yeah.
They didn't get infected. They were running away from it
Uh-huh.
because the animals know. And he finds just this fucking this group of monkeys in the middle of the Antarctic, like not too far away from the lab, who are all just frozen, like they're in mid-walk.
Yeah.
Like they all just froze at the same time. It's really funny, but then he eventually he asks for an evac, but they tell him you have to find Dr. Havit. I think it's like Dr. Havit.
Mhm.
So he's got to try and find this Dr. Havit guy. So he goes out and uses this kind of line to get out into a really blizzardy area so that he doesn't get lost from the path. And he finds this pole with a light on top of it.
Yeah.
And he uses a thing that they implant in their hand so that they can scan through doors to wave over it, and you can it just goes whoop, and then another thing pops up, another pole pops up with a fucking jar on it.
Yeah.
And inside the jar is a head.
Uh,
A severed human head. It's a bit like Futurama, except it's not alive.
Yeah.
It just comes up out of the snow. And I'm sitting there going, alright, that's interesting. That's... Okay, right, I'm guessing they're going to tell me why there's a fucking severed head under the snow. And then, a security guard shows up and they have a bit of a fight. And then, he wrecks the army guy and takes the severed head, as if he knows what it is. So, clearly he must know what it is, because he knows it's important enough to get away from him. So he's like, so I'm like, okay, so why is there a severed head in a jar under the ice? And then the next episode, okay, this is all very interesting, but why was there a severed head in a jar under the ice? Next episode after that, next 2 episodes, okay, why was there a severed head in a jar under the ice? And later on, when the main guy kills that immortal lady who was the Psy's mum, the last shot of that episode is him and the security guy out in that area putting her fucking head in that jar and putting it under the ice. It's does there need to be a severed head there? I mean, you suggested Chris, does it power the base? Do they have to replace the severed head occasionally? Do they have to draw straws okay guys, somebody's nicked the severed head, I think a polar bear dug it up. Look, I think you need, we're going to have to draw straws. Oh shit. Oh, I got the short straw, so they have to cut off his head and, he powers the base. I remember you were saying actually that you can imagine me walking into the writer's room with a gun just going, why is there a severed head? Because they don't explain it. They barely even bring it up. And they just don't explain it. And apparently there's meant to be a second season, and the only reason I'm even thinking about watching the second season is because I want to know what the fucking head was doing in the jar.
Anyway, I'll talk for a bit.
Okay.
That was just me fast forwarding through a conversation about all they've known about.
Sorry, yeah.
I was just thinking, I don't have anything to talk about. I mean, we're mostly talking about TV and stuff, but I figured I actually did watch a series recently. Like I say, it's a short series, so it was only 15 episodes, 15 or 14, I forget. And it's a Paranoia Agent, the anime.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we mentioned this, yeah.
Yeah, Satoshi Kon's one, the director of Perfect Blue and all that.
Oh yeah.
It's a series about it's like in like a place like Shibuya, Tokyo, I forget. Just some place in Japan, a big populated area, and then there's been a thing going on about how there's been a kid skating around like with like a metal bat smacking people's faces in, and there's this like, and they don't necessarily get killed, but they just get injured obviously. And it's just like a big conspiracy thing, and it's this freaky kid just going out, just going bang, and then it becomes like a mystery. Who's the kid? Who's Little Slugger? Who's and what's he?
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a weird premise.
Fucking weird.
It's like a lot of satire in it about like just people's suspicions about who this kid is and what the fuck's going on. And let me tell you, I'm not going to spoil like a lot about like what the actual ending is and all that, but it's got a very weird reason for existing, this whole story.
I'm gonna have to look at this.
It's a pretty good series. I like it a lot. Because I think it was like only one episode I was kind of distracted during watching. The rest were like perfectly fine. But mostly it's like the first bunch of episodes like showing off like it's just like a troubled soul, like what there seems to be like several characters like intermingle with each other. There's like the police cop and his younger person who's a younger cop who's trying to do the mystery. There's like a girl who invented like a kind of Hello Kitty style icon thing, just really cute kind of thing. Yaddy daddy dude, yeah, apparently. It's just a little, who's the mascot of the series, this little dog thing, and she's getting talked to by it. Every night, our old doll, it gets up and talks to her. And it's just like, oh god, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, and then you got like a bunch of episodes, like, just someone like random, like the most perfect boy in school. Like he's a cute little handsome boy. He skates around and goes, hey, like his teeth sparkle. But of course he kind of looks a bit like Little Slugger a bit. And that's when everyone starts rejecting him. Then you start to see like what a horrible little shit he is. Like when he's like trying to put the blame on like this poor little fat kid who's running for class president, and when he is, it's just like, oh, you little fuck.
So it's like a school sort of thing. It's a school environment, or
no, it was mainly that one. No, it's mainly city, all over the city.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
several
it's
characters.
a scene that it appears to explore a lot of the like what society how they would deal with this weird random attack thing and stuff. It's a very interesting idea.
Yeah, it's really good. Animation is good, obviously, and it's one of my favorite episodes because it was just so mean spirited and no, I don't know if that's even my favorite. My favorite one's later on, but just one where this guy, there's another cop character who intermingles with the detective characters. He's this guy. He seems nice enough, but he turns out he's corrupt. He's like taking bribes from the mob, and he just wants to make a house and just be like a true man.
so is it different characters at each episode?
Mostly, it eventually just kind of like it converges eventually, and then he wants to be like a true man. He wants to live the man's dream, and it's funny because during the episode it's like he has to eventually turn to a life of crime to pay for his house and all his construction of his house, and then there's manga panels in between, just like something like Fist of the North Star, where it's like this really masculine, powerful man, like say, "I'll save you, woman and lady," and all that, just fighting a bunch of mob bosses and stuff, and then it'll be intercut to him like punching an old woman out or something and stealing her money.
That's actually I really want to see this.
It's just pathetic fat man running around town in a balaclava.
Have you got this on DVD?
I do, yes.
Oh, I need to borrow this off you.
Yeah.
This sounds like fun.
It's quite good.
Yeah, no, it's just we were I mean, as we mentioned earlier, we were watching Masters of the Universe last night.
Don't forget that.
And of course, nobody could forget that. That was pretty amazing. We've already done a review of it. It most likely will not be out when this is out, but you know, a little bit more behind the scenes stuff here. You know, shows you when we're releasing these things and whatever. But for those of you who are interested, but I remember something interesting in particular when it was the scene where He-Man was being whipped vigorously. There's that word again, vigorously. It's the official word of Chris and Glenn's journey to hell, vigorously. I liked what you were talking about, where like with Skeletor and his dungeon.
Yeah.
Yes, talk about Skeletor's dungeon.
So what was Skeletor's dungeon going to be, or your dungeon rather, Chris? But we'll say it's Skeletor's dungeon. Just for
it wasn't my dungeon. If it was my dungeon, I would say it. It was just my idea for Skeletor's dungeon.
Sure, it wasn't, Chris. But we'll say it was Skeletor's dungeon.
This isn't practical by anyone's imagination, Glenn. This is not going to happen.
Who says it needs to be practical?
You've got to get planning permission.
Yeah, we do have to get planning permission for this, but we need to. But first of all, we need to know what. Basically, look, Chris, in order to make this dungeon, for Skeletor.
Yeah.
Okay, for Skeletor, yeah, we're just gonna say that, all right? Whatever. In order to make this dungeon, you need contractors.
Yeah.
And me and Nick are just the people to delegate that task to. Okay.
Are you?
We've actually recently started up our own contracting business.
Yeah.
I thought you just paintballed a bit and then worked in a shop.
Yeah, I do that. I do that on the side. I'm a man of many talents and many jobs, and so is Nick. You know.
Right.
Nick,
So
Nick breeds badgers in his spare time.
I do not breed badgers.
He says he doesn't, but he does. And
Breeds
so.
Something.
But first, what we need to do is ascertain what the specs for this are. What are the specifications?
Aye.
Right. Nick's got his notepad out. This is serious.
Okay. The sex dungeon. I mean, this is it's a fairly fancy themed one. It's obviously got to have skulls everywhere. Skulls is like big holes.
Okay, right. We need to visit the Sedler Ossuary and nick a few of the skulls.
No, we'll make them out of plastic. Because he wants to mount lights in them.
Yeah.
So you have to we'll have to get like a fiberglass machine and
I don't know. I'd say wouldn't that look a bit artificial? I mean, I was hoping for like real skulls.
Nah, you paint them a certain way, they look realistic enough.
All right. Well, we're gonna need to divert a bit of the budget to that then.
We'll get some Warhammer
doing
paint.
up the-
I know Warhammer people. They paint
right.
skeletons.
Okay.
They do
So
it.
what else? What else?
Okay, we've got like a bunch of skulls everywhere. There's lots of parties. It's a massive room, fairly massive. Not this side. It would be a bit bigger than this one.
Aye.
Which is just I don't know.
Which is
I'm not a fucking ruler, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that is it, everybody. Chris is not a ruler. Okay. Stop demanding things. Anyways.
Yeah, and it's. Oh, what should I say? Right. What were all those ideas from yesterday that made you laugh so heartily?
So you do with a lube machine or
yes, we've
something?
got the river of lube.
Yeah.
It's the river of lube. We need the river of lube.
And there are fountains that shoot out from it at random and go.
Like geysers or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, geyser.
The river of lube. We'll call it the river non-sticks.
And see, all the people.
Get it?
What?
Get it? The river non-sticks.
Very good.
Haha. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, okay, river of lube. Right,
I've got
okay.
that down.
Right,
Yeah,
you were saying. Okay.
Yeah, you can like throw the people across it, then they get the lube out their ass when they do that.
Yeah.
Directly.
Or
yeah.
they get carried by it and smack into the wall and get knocked out. Either way,
So you want a bit of a current to it, like a moving.
this whole evening is going to leave a massive patch of guilt in my life. And I'll go for it anyway.
You mean a massive patch of guilt in Skeletor's life?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Because it is his dungeon.
That's right.
So.
What else?
What else? Oh yes, the remote control dildos that shoot from the wall.
The remote control dildos that shoot from the wall.
They got to be like a theme for Skeletor.
Okay, so remote control dildos that shoot from the wall.
They will
we'll
look like mini swords.
Like little mini swords, but they're dildos.
They are dildos.
So rubber swords that.
Yeah.
So they're dildos, but they have like little hilts on them.
Yeah, when they get shot out, they have like a shing thing as they shoot towards
Okay.
people, and they're operated by people up above who are the personnel up above who wear stupid black Darth Vader looking stormtrooper stuff as in the movie.
Okay. So we have to get some of those.
All right,
costumes,
we need to get some kind of Darth Vader type gimp suit or something.
Yes, and they go, yes, it is necessary. Then they press buttons and those like shoot towards whoever asks of it.
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking it's not really enough to have the dildos just in the wall. We could have them we could have like little drone balls with dildos just kind of flowing around.
Nice.
You know, in case we're near maybe you're really far into the centre of the room. And you're too busy being shackled to a chair to get over to one of the walls.
You could use one of them. You know how you had that mistletoe drone that TGI Friday or something like that. Imagine you could have one with
those are fucking weird.
Yeah, but imagine you had a dildo attached to it and you could pile it into the guy's arse. The guy's there gaping and you just fly it into the guy's arse.
We've got to hire people who are willing to see that on a camera.
Yeah, we've got.
You got to specialize.
Okay,
there are people who be like, okay, this is okay.
So
I am willing to get a paycheck for this.
Okay, so what we need to do is hire.
It's probably better than blowing up innocent children in foreign countries.
What we need to do is hire.
Blow up a guy's ass.
Is to hire outside. We need outside sources. We need to hire. Staff for this, so I would suggest sourcing the staff through websites such as 4chan, and things like that.
No, they'll be too aggressive.
They're but where else are you going to find some people who are willing to shove a camera up someone's arse and state up their colon?
Skeletor needs someone who. Here's the thing, we're serving a great archetypical villain here. I mean, along the lines of Maleficent and the Wizard. Oh, not the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, he's a fucking villain. I mean, I'm a fucking wizard. No, the Wicked Witch of the West. All these the crazy ones. They berate. They like to berate their henchmen.
Yeah.
So I think getting someone from 4chan or wherever the hell just someone people who are just not on the head. They're just gonna go.
So I was under that idea that this was going to be sexy. I don't think anything in 4chan says is sexy.
No. To be honest, these don't matter. They are just the staff. They don't matter. They just run around. They serve things. They go. Then Skeletor shoots his fireball at them and just.
Yeah.
It's basically we could solder their mouths shut.
Yeah.
We could. Yeah.
Because we're contractors.
We should have a mechanized whipping robot. And he has two giant spinning arms that are full of whips. And he just goes,
oh god, this is amazing.
He whips people. A bit like that robot from Colony in Space that just moved forward. Instead of those gaping arms that went like that, they're just two giant whip arms, giant wheels with whips on them. That goes and whips.
We need a wardrobe full of dark.
I think the 4chan minions should be dressed up as those awful Gizmo costumes that we saw on Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, actually.
I think that. Yeah.
We found a really awful looking Gizmo from Gremlins costume in Forbidden Planet.
We'll phone up the supplier. We'll phone up the supplier and get them really cheap because we'll buy them by bulk and we'll get some.
Yeah, because we're about singularly they were about 40 quid each.
Yeah.
But I can imagine Skeletor having a good time. Spanking Gizmo's arse and then just remote controlling our camera straight up his gully.
No, we're not remote controlling a camera. The drone has a dildo on it that flies in. It's a flying dildo.
Yes, but it needs a camera so that the guy.
Yeah, but you don't put the camera up his arse.
Well, you're gonna have to see.
Cameras are sensitive equipment. I don't think they can take being shoved up a person's arse.
Well, that's what the design is for.
Okay, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
This is okay. Look. We've got to. We've got to start thinking here. This is serious stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
So what's the budget like?
The budget.
We need a budget. It needs to be a lot of money.
I don't know what this is all tally up to. I'm not a money person, honestly.
Well, what me and Nick can do is we can go out on the street and we can brandish swords at people until they hand over their wallets.
Oh,
that is what we did. That is what we did to fund Nick and Chris Watch at one point. I know that you probably weren't involved in that, and you probably don't know about that, but that's what we did.
Yeah. Problem is we didn't get that much money.
Problem is, the problem is we did it in we did it in Brechin, and well, no one really has any money, so.
And he did it to school children.
Well, we made.
That's why I didn't hear it, because that's what happens in Brechin all the time.
Well, we made $3.75 and a very worried looking goat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we. That was what we managed to garner for. But if we
stick Daryl got hold of the goat and things happened, and that goat we had to send that goat away for a while so it could recuperate.
Yeah.
It was a mental wreck by the end. It's mental wreck.
Yeah, he was caught performing inappropriate charms on the goat.
Yes.
Well, I was just going to make out that you had to look after Daryl when anyone.
God.
But no, I think we should. I now have a thing that we'll end with it. Now that we've talked about all this sadomasochism, we should talk about something a bit more uplifting. It's this brochure I have. It says "Keep Her Lit."
Oh, is this another fucking?
No. It's a questionnaire. Do you classify yourself as a rider, spectator, or a fan? Why? I classify myself as a fan.
What?
Are you interested? Are you interested in MotoGP, superbike racing, super sport racing, endurance racing, or other? Well, I kind of like MotoGP myself.
I haven't a clue what this is.
Have you been to like the Ulster Grand Prix or Cookstown 100 or Northwest 200 or Isle of Man TT? Been to the Isle of Man of TT one time. No, so this is all about racing, but now let me tell you about another race where there are no spectators or fans, where all are riders travelling along the same course at the same speed. Are you racing along the circuit of life, enjoying the thrill through the dangers though the dangers are rife? Are you reckless? Are you the reckless and careless, no serious thought? This is obviously written by someone that English isn't their first language. For what follows after when life's race is fought? Are you battling it out for the things of this life? Its laurels and pleasures, commendations in life? It says
Has
anyone told you, my dear friend, that the moment when you die, it's not the real end?
How the fuck does he know?
One lap and only one. One lap and only one, not 2, 5 or 9. There'll be no second chance when you've crossed the last line. For the next world will open the moment you're through, and heaven or hell will then open to view. The Lord Jesus Christ, who was God's only Son, once died on the cross for your sins to atone.
Wait, see what? Right. Right. Okay. This.
Well, there. Has anyone told you?
Has anyone told you, my dear reader friend, that you need to repent and prepare for the end? Okay. Oh wait. Oh, this is rhyming. Look, it is actually rhyming. This is a poem. Look, there's power in the blood of the dear Son of God, to pardon and cleanse before you're under the sod. Come right now to Jesus wherever you are, in office or home, in field, street or car.
Nice.
Take heed to this message, no longer delay, for time's running out, it may be your last day. Has anyone told you, my dear reader friend? Keep it lit in the Bible. What? Keep it lit in the Bible.
See, I told you,
asterisk. Yeah. The wording is different, but the meaning the same. See Mark 9:43 to 48. No, keep it lit in the Bible. Some books from the end, and there's a bit at in the back here. The sinner's prayer. Dear God, I realize I'm racing along in the circuit of life, with this tortured metaphor, and I'm not ready to cross the finishing line. God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I repent now of all my sins and turn from them, trusting you to wash them all away in the blood Jesus shed on the cross. Make me a new creation in Christ Jesus. Well, apparently it's Christ Jesus now. And give me power to live for you from this day forward. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Amen?
Amen.
Ah,
So
man.
yeah, basically, for some reason it decides to make you fill in a thing about do you like racing, and then goes like, fooled you! This isn't about racing, this is about God. But the
This
thing
is
on
more
the
important. My magic man's
on
better
the
than your
back,
motorbikes.
on the back, you can send away for some free offers, which include a Holy Bible, a helpful Christian book, assorted literature, or further spiritual help. Now, I'm going to sign for a Holy Bible, a helpful Christian book, and
Are they one
assorted
and the same?
literature. I don't know.
I know. I would like a helpful Christian.
No,
I
I
thought
don't
you were
want.
just going to say a helpful
No,
Christian.
I
like
don't
he
want
pops up at
further
the door.
spiritual help because I suspect there'll probably be someone coming to my house. But and you have to send it away to some place in Northern Ireland. But I will, and hopefully later on some time I'll be able to show you a helpful Christian book.
Because Peter Popoff
Because the thing
wasn't
is,
enough.
the thing is, a Holy Bible is not the same thing as a helpful Christian book.
Apparently not. Well, the Holy Bible isn't helpful by any standards.
Alistair Keith. There we go.
Okay,
Alistair
yeah.
Keith is going to
So,
get this.
all right, we're sending away. I like the idea that it's like, okay, well, you get to the pearly gates. It's like, I like to think that like there's a questionnaire up there, like St. Peter's asks you, like, so how did you find out about us? And it's like, oh, a pamphlet, a fairly misleading racing-based pamphlet.
There's nothing misleading
On the
about
streets
it.
of-
Then he opens the pearly gates and then MotoGP.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
No, it's just the it's the
Yeah, I
fucking
know,
Mario Kart.
I know it is. I was waiting for you to stop. But yeah, I like that. I like the idea that your salvation lies in this fairly misleading,
Although
you
to
know,
be fair, our salvation may just
full of
may
full of
just be-
tortured like they really go for this metaphor, don't they? Of the, the race through life. I like that. Like they say, like this race is fought.
Yeah.
Because you fight a race clearly.
and because we're non-demonal.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan fights
we're also
a race,
non-demonal. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There we go.
That's changed my life.
The song is as old as the hills and is known as the mantra or healing sound. It originates from the oldest wisdom tradition in the world. Again, these people that wrote this, obviously, because it says the oldest wisdom tradition in the world,
The oldest wisdom tradition.
and will bring you great peace and happiness. Yes, me saying that to you will bring you great peace and happiness. See, I
Yeah.
provide a service here in my house.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Alistair? Yes, we provide a service.
I'm happy as hell.
I'm really happy.
Said Hammy.
Put on a happy face, yeah. Do 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 do, yeah. Put on a happy face.
I
Yeah.
think someone's hijacking.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. We're coming close to the end of this one anyway, so
Yeah.
Well, I thought because Chris went through this horrible perverted stuff about drone guided dildos and stuff, I thought I thought I'd put some Christian love into it. Something
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever actually see on ever, but yeah.
there are multiple people around this world who have who have been given Christian love. I don't think they enjoyed it.
Like Christian love, as in you have to trick the person into accepting it.
Yeah, I know.
With
You know what they do?
motorbikes, nonetheless.
You know
Wasn't
what
that
they-
a lot like
motorbikes.
just sex anyway?
Well,
you trick them into it. It's like it's
you
never
know
as
the-
good as you say it's going.
You know what they do? You know one of the things they actually do over in America. I don't know if this has been done here or not, but apparently in places in America, like if you go to a restaurant, like sometimes you might see like a dollar bill lying on a table, and you're like, oh, all right, I'll just nick that, and you pick it up, and it's not a real dollar bill. On the back of it, it says like there are more important things in life than money, and then goes into a little sermon or a biblical verse. It's like, fuck you. Go get eaten by a crocodile. Yeah, that was a reference to a Christian panto that we saw.
Sure.
No.
Oh God! But anyways,
they
yeah.
are, but they are. It's it's like the thing about the thing is, as much as like UKIP, if UKIP were just like, let's stop getting these fundamentalist Christians from like Nigerian stuff over here, then I'd be like, yes, we don't want them in our country, because that's the thing, you see them more now. It's always, it's more foreign.
All the fun, yeah, like all the fundamentalists.
It's like, I remember when all these Christians used to be British. I want our.
That's what they're annoyed about.
Like,
that's what they're annoyed about. You've got all these black and brown people coming into the country preaching all their fundy shit, and that's their job.
Yeah.
They're taking their jobs.
Glug glug glug
Glug glug glug. I'm a man of the people. Glug glug glug. I'm Nigel Farage and I have a toad's face.
The best Nigel Farage video is when he's like going into like a hall like to do a talk or something. Then just a bunch of people like filmed it, and they sit there and they just go, okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Fuck off back to Toad Hall. Fuck off back to Toad Hall. Da-da-da.
No, it's when they came to Edinburgh and they would like shove your Union Jack up your arse. You can shove your Union Jack up your arse. They sang that to him and he was like, oh, very funny, yes.
Yeah, actually, I mean, Nigel Farage actually complained about how people, like comedians, were making fun of him, and it's like, well, stop being fucking ridiculous then.
He actually brought up how a pair of kids made fun of him. And he was offended by a pair of kids making fun of him.
Oh yeah, he went after them, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went after like kids and stuff.
Well, you were talking about how like he wanted to put children in boxes.
Yeah, I think
because there were evidence of how people were having sex, and we don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Put him in a
I know,
box.
his policies on gay people are like, oh, they make me feel icky when they kiss in public. It's like,
So?
a lot of people make me feel icky when they kiss in public.
Especially Nigel Farage.
Oh, especially.
Oh god.
And he just swallows them, and then his throat just kind of distends into like a toad. Just
and then throws them out, and then
just inflates. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we need to stop there because it's coming to 1 minute less. So this has been Chris and Glenn's Journey to Hell with a special guest, Nicholas Cook, who has just come back from living with the Badgers. And,
Nick Griffin and Nigel Farage should have a boxing match to see who the biggest bigot among them is.
Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.
I'd pay money to see that. Who's the biggest bigot?